Something that I talk about for 10 minutes in my video, so I'll try to make it very simple. This year, we've seen a lot of presidential proclamations and executive orders which have stopped immigration for certain kinds of visas. They've stopped direct travel to the US from certain countries. And so the national interest exception is something new that allows people who normally wouldn't be able to get a visa, like L1A or L1B people, to actually get an emergency interview and come in as an exception to that proclamation. The same goes for people who are traveling directly from countries like Brazil, for example, that's now has a bar for direct entry. If you apply for a national interest exception, they can waive that for you and say, okay, in your specific case, we will allow you to travel directly to the US. But you have to show that the US economy will benefit from that. You have to show an economic effect in order to qualify for the exception. So the exception applies to those people who don't have their visas yet or are coming from countries that you can't directly travel from. Hopefully, depending on the elections, that won't be necessary as of 2021. But for now, it's a very important tool to use if you need to come to the US to run your business.
And talking about the presidential election, what effect do you think that the presidential election will have on foreign entrepreneurs and their visa possibilities?
I think that you've probably seen this too when trying to gauge interest in the US, because that's what both of us do. We essentially sell the American dream to people and we help them achieve that. And a lot of people are saying that they're waiting for the election results to see what to do. So I think that these elections are extremely important. I've heard that there are trillions of dollars on hold in terms of investment into the US, depending on the election. So I think that if the administration stays, the same one stays, it will continue to be a challenge. And that's not impossible, but it's a challenge for all of us. And if it changes and it becomes democratic, I think you'll see a lot of these measures and proclamations and executive orders will be taken back. And it will look like business did 4 years ago. That will take some time, though. It will take some time to undo some of those measures. But I think that this election has a big impact on investors, entrepreneurs, and foreign companies, and whether they're really welcome or not, or how difficult it might be or not.